Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to join our webinar today. My name is Ruchi and I am the sales executive with Movegistics. I will be your host and speaker today. Today, our topic is growing your moving company with Movegistics. I will be giving you a tour of our robust cloud-based CRM platform and the seamlessly integrated mobile apps. And lastly, before we get started, please use the Q&A feature in the Zoom to ask any questions. I will try to answer those questions throughout the webinar, or I will follow up with a personal call to answer more questions and discuss pricing. All right, I think we can get started now. I'm going to share my screen. So this screen that you're looking at right now is our main opportunity screen. So when you log into the program, this is the screen that you land on, and it pretty much shows you all your customers in the system. It has different tabs here to see different types of customers. You can also sort the list by using the search link right here to find different types of customers in here. We do offer integration with your website and also third-party lead providing companies, so your leads can automatically get captured into the CRM as well. To start with, when you get a phone call, we start by creating a new customer and we just start capturing their information here. You can enter their phone number. It also lets you add multiple phone numbers if needed or multiple email addresses. You can enter the lead source of how they heard about you. This list over here is customizable, so you can add more lead sources to track at the end of the week or the month on all the sales that you get from different sources. Over here, we have the move date. When you select the date, you can check availability to see how many jobs you already have planned for that day and what your men and truck availability is right there. Then any additional information about the lead source, customer comments can be mentioned in here as well. This screen comes up just in case you're using a similar email that's already been used. It sort of lets you know that this could be a potential duplicate. I'm just going to skip it anyways. In the next section, it lets you enter the address information. So we do integrate with Google Maps. So when you type in your street numbers like that, it will automatically give you address options to pick from. I'm just going to be using some local addresses here in California. And then down here, it will show you the map with the distance and estimated travel time. It lets you add more information about the location, like cross streets, elevator, stairs, parking, distance to truck. It also lets you add stops on both sides. And on the map, you can even drag and drop the pegman to see the actual location of where you're going. In the next screen, you can capture the inventory from the customer. You have options to do it by number of bedrooms or square footage. It can automatically approximately calculate the volume and weight for you. But if you want to do an item list, you just have to click on that link right there. And then it'll give you a text view of rooms and items, plus a graphical view. So you can simultaneously switch between the views and add the items from both. The graphical view has photoshopped images of some generic rooms and items, but obviously it's tough to capture everything that's out there. So the text view is a bigger list of rooms and items. And you can also customize this list and create your own rooms and items in here as well. It lets you search for items here, or you can just scroll down. It's all alphabetic. Now, as you add the items, it groups them down here and gives you the total volume and weight as well. Then we're going to save and close. The next screen lets you do an estimate really quick over the phone with them. So you can select move type, the service type, and then if you have multiple surveys, you can pick the survey that you're going to use here. And then down here, we have an auto pricing feature, which can automatically calculate the move charges for you based on your rates and tariffs that are set up in the system. I'm showing you an example of a local move, but it's exactly the same thing you would do for a long distance as well. It will just pull your rates from your tariffs. And it also lets you set up different rate tables. You can have different rates for different types of season or month end or weekend rates like that. It automatically updates the rate for you. Once you set up the loading capacity for your men and truck, it automatically calculates your men, truck, and hours for you as well. We have different options here to add under labor. You can add additional multipliers for access or white glove or stairs like that. So it'll add additional time by percentage or hours. You can also add your own travel methods here. This is all customizable. It lets you create your own options on how you want to add it up. So that's the auto pricing option, but we also have a spot rate option where you can create just a flat rate move if you want to give one flat amount here. So it has both options for you available. And then over here, it also lets you set up the move difficulty. So if it sounds like a pretty simple house, you can just set it up to like a 2 or a 1.5 or 1. But if it sounds a little complicated, you can change the move difficulty level here too. And this will help determine your operations person assign the right resources for the job. We also have an option for local moves to do a range of hours, and it ranges the totals for the customer here as well. The next section, you can add packing by weight, by rooms, or just by an item list. We do provide you with a list for this in here as well, so you can use this, customize it. You can have your own unit rate, pack rate, unpack rate like this, and it can also calculate sales tax for you. And then there's additional charges here that you can add for crating or piano, shuttle service. If you guys offer storage, we have complete storage options available for wall tracking, recurring billing. So you can have a one-time fee or recurring charge, have your own valuation options in here. There's options to add bottom line discounts, service taxes, or even credit card fees. And any special notes for the customer can be added in here too. We will provide you with some templates pre-designed with your logo and company info in our system. So you'll be welcome to use our templates. You can customize these or even create your own templates. And we have examples for both local and long distance. And then you can send it to the customer in an email as an attachment or use our e-sign feature, which will let them sign this electronically. And then once you send it from here, you can also choose to send it as a text message, so the customer gets it both ways. Once you've sent an estimate, we're just going to click done, and it's going to ask us to set up a follow-up date. So if you want, you can set up the same day. If you think you want to call them back in an hour or so, you can set up the same day here. And then you can select your own time windows. You can create multiple time windows. And then just click on save and done. Because this way, the system will now remind you to follow up with this customer about the estimate you just sent. So now this is the main opportunity screen for the customer. So every time this customer calls back, you would just search up with their name and it will pull up their opportunity like this. And this is that one screen where you manage the rest of the move. In case this customer wants to do request an on-site survey, I'm going to show you an app that we have designed for doing in-home surveys. So right here on the clipboard, you can schedule a survey for them with a date and time, and then you select the person that you're sending out for the survey. And now I'm going to mirror my iPad here. This app is available on both iOS and Android, but it is designed for a tablet screen. So if you're using an Android tablet, you will require a minimum 8-inch screen. And this is how the surveyor will see the customer details. They can see their address details right there. Once they get to the location, it lets them take pictures of the location itself or edit and make any changes about the location. They can plan the full day with the customer with different activities with different time slots. Also, if the customer wants to request a different date, they have access to the calendar right there, and they can just pick on a date to see if they already have a job and what the men and truck availability is for that particular day. And going back, they can add additional information about the move in terms of artwork, fragile items, packing, grading, or any third-party services required. and then you go back and click on survey. So when you click on inventory, you will see rooms on the left and the items on the right. So as you start walking through the house, you click on the room and then you just start tapping and adding the items as you go. As you're adding the items, it's going to group them down here room by room, give you the total volume and weight, plus it lets you take pictures of every item and make any special notes about it right there. It also has options to create new rooms and items. You can mark carrier pack, pack by owner separately, or create your own categories of items in here as well. And then once you're done with the complete survey, you're just going to save it and then have the customer sign it. You can sign it and submit it. Now, this app is available offline as well. So if you do not have data service on your tablet, it will save all this information for you. And then as soon as you enter Wi-Fi, it will send it over to the main system. But if you do have data service, it will, first of all, it also lets you create new customers or add multiple surveys for more appointments. Also, right after you've done the survey, you can close out the app and then you can log into the CRM right through your tablet because it's a web-based program and create an estimate based on that new survey in here again. Now, once we've sent the estimate, the customer clicks on the link to view it, you will get pop-up notifications letting you know that they've seen it. And then you can then go to your follow-ups. If you know that they've checked it out, you can call them back in a couple hours and you can make that call with the customer to see if they're ready to move forward or not. Now here, when you click on the follow-ups, when you click on that customer, you can scroll down and see all your history that you've already had with the customer. And then we have some call scripts in here that help your sales team close jobs faster. So if this is about a local move, they can open up the local move outbound script and then they can start reading this out to the customer. All the orange fields let them capture additional information about the location or about the move. And if something needs to be changed, it updates in the system right away. We also have scripts for voicemails and rebuttals. So when people give you excuses like I found a lower quote, I need to check the BBB, or I need to talk to my wife about it, you can actually just pull up a rebuttal, and we actually have scripts for those in here as well. We give you a few options in here for you to use, but these are all customizable. You can also create your own rebuttals in here. But these tools are very effective for your salespeople, especially for sales reps that are not from the moving industry, because these have all the right terminologies, questions, and answers that movers need to know. We also have options right here for shortcuts to check availability or add any notes or update inventory. Just in case you don't get connected with the customer, you mark the call as left voicemail. And then you can send them a follow-up email from here. So you can create multiple email templates like these for every instance, and then you can just select your template and send it out. Same thing you can do with texting. You just select your template and send it out. And then it automatically picks the next following business day as the next follow-up date. But if the customer has asked you to call back in a couple of days, you can go in here, just change the follow-up date to that date, and then select your own time window for calling, and then just click done. So now on your follow-up, it'll show up in the upcoming follow-ups, and it'll also remind you on your calendar, email, or in a text. So this way, all your customers have been contacted and nobody's missed out on the estimate. Now, going back into a job, once the customer signs and confirms, you are going to book this move and add it to the calendar. So you can pick the job activity for that day. You can have multiple days with different activities for each day. And then you can have your own time windows, comments, shift, reporting time for the crew, and then book it as confirmed. While that's booking, I'm going to quickly cover the calendar. Our calendar, as you can see, can be color coordinated. So you can have different types of moves with different colors. So it's easy to find a specific type of move in here. It also integrates with Google. So everything will copy over to Google Calendar. When you hover over a job, it's going to give you a preview screen of the basic details about that job. And then when you click on it, it lets you see that. Plus, it also lets you manage the job from this screen. For each day, you'll notice on top, it has the men and truck availability plus the daily revenue for that day after the book jobs. You can also create new customers or events right from the calendar. And then there's different options to view the calendar depending on the type of event or job that you want to see. Also different views as in weekly, daily forecast. We also have a really cool feature where you can drag and drop jobs to change move dates like that. And then you just have to confirm it and then system will change the dates for you. Now going back into our job again. Once we have booked it, it goes over to dispatch. And now this is where your operations would come in to assign the resources for this job. This information will copy over from the estimate. And then down here, you can assign the guys from the drop-down list right here. We also have this badge feature where it lets you assign badges to all your crew members depending on their capabilities and strength on the field. So this way, if you have these badge signs open and if this job requires a specific kind of attention, you can make sure you're picking the right person from this list. And then you just assign your guys from right here. Sometimes you will pick somebody who's already assigned to a different job at the same time. The system will give you a warning like this. And you can make one of them a supervisor, send them Google Calendar, email, and text notifications about the job. And you noticed how with these two guys, my crew strength is a 5. That's because of the badges that have been assigned to them and because of their strengths. We know that, this crew adds up to a 5. Now, this job just needs a level of 1. So as a dispatcher, I know that I'm sending a great crew for this job. And over here, we have our trucks. Any other equipment can be added. Any supplies can be added. If you want to send them any special instructions, you can add them over here. And then we're going to dispatch this job. Now, in our CRM, we offer both paper and paperless options for the bill of lading. If you want to do paper, you can just download the bill of lading from right here. And it's going to just open up as a PDF and then you can print it out. We will provide you with some templates for the bill of ladings as well, but those are all customizable too. But if you're interested to be paperless, right after you've dispatched the job, you're going to send this job to the tablet from right here. So we're going to select our driver. For long distance moves, you're not going to see this feature right here. It's only for local moves, the clock in feature. And then we're going to save. Now in my tablet, I'm going to open up my Mover BOL app. And now this is how your foreman or your driver will see the job information on his tablet. When he clicks on the summary, he can see the full address details, the contact information for the customer. And then under crew and supplies, he knows which guys are going with him, which truck he needs to take, what materials need to be packed. Any comments from the sales team can be seen in here too. And then after doing a check of everything in the summary, he's going to accept the job and start move. Now, depending on how you guys bill, they can clock in when they leave the office or clock in when they get there, because this is where the billing clock for the customer begins. The first thing they do when they get there is a walkthrough. In the walkthrough, they're going to go over all of these line items and get signatures before they start. So here, in case the customer decides to add more items to their bedroom or 10 more boxes or something like that, they can actually edit and make changes right here. And then the customer can verify and submit the changes to sign it. They can also see all the photos that were taken through the survey app in here. And then it lets them take additional photos of any pre-existing damages and make any notes about them as well. We also have a valuation section in here, which is completely customizable based on what you guys offer. But this lets your guys, upsell better options, or in case the customer didn't do it in the beginning, they can do it right here as well. The next section is the forms and documents. This is also a completely customizable page. You can add your own waivers and documents in here that you normally get signatures on. And then whatever is applicable to the customer, they will go under that waiver and sign. And then we also have our storage agreement, which you can modify based on your contract. After the walkthrough is done, the guys start working on the job. Half day's gone by, it's break time for them. They can actually take breaks from right here, and it freezes the billing clock. But since all of this is happening in real time, you can track the guys' activity in the office. So if I go back in my CRM, I'm just going to refresh the browser here. And right under my tab, I can see that they're on a break right there. Going back, the guys are almost done. They're like 20 minutes away from the customer's house. They can calculate an ETA from their current location to the customer's house, and they can just send it to the customer in an email, text, or both. Once they get back, they're going to stop the break, and then that billing clock starts running again. Now, once everything is done, they've loaded the truck, they're ready to leave the house, that's when they're going to clock out and do the bill of lading. Once they start that, this is just a confirmation for them whether they're ready for this or not, because once they're going to click yes, it's going to lock the clock in, clock out screen. And then right here, they can see the estimated charges and current charges. Now, before getting final payment, they can go over all of this with the customer, and if needed, they can update or add anything extra. So if any hours need to be modified, they can do it from right there, or any services. If they need to add any materials, it can be done from right there. So they go over all of this with the customer and make changes if needed. And then there's an option for them to send it for approval to you in the office. So in case you need to check something before getting the final payment, you can make changes from the office and send it right over back to the tablet. And then if it all looks good, they would click next. The customer will sign and agree to the final charges. They can give you a feedback right on spot. And then based on the number of stars you get, you can create templates for email and text messages with links to your Google, Facebook accounts so that the customer can post those reviews on social media. And then we also have a tip screen here that can be turned off, or the customer can skip as well. And then right here is the final payment screen. We do accept credit cards on here through authorize.net. So once you do sign up with us, we'll connect you to our partner, and they'll get you the rates that they have in your area. If you want to continue using your own gateway, you can just train the guys to click on skip payment, and then you can run the card in the office and manually receive it towards this account. For cash and check options, we have, it lets them take pictures as proof of payment or a picture of their ID. And that's it. They complete the payment on here, and then it's going to automatically close out the job for them. Now, once the job closes, it brings up the next one. In the office, you get notified that work order is completed. You can see all of that activity right here with all signatures and the final bill of lading. So there it is. All your documents, your final BOL with the payment, and then you can email the signed copy to the customer as well. Now, if you were to do this on paper, you would manually close the work order. There was an option here earlier, and then you would manually enter everything in the system from the paperwork. When it's done on the tablet, it automatically updates everything under actuals, income, and expenses for you. So it has the ability to capture your payroll hours for the guys based on their rates. And then you can add any tips or anything extra that you need to pay out to them in here as well. Also calculates your packing supply expenses based on your company rates. And then there's other expenses or commissions and charges that you can enter manually. After you've entered all of this, you can go to the costing tab to see a breakdown per line item of everything you've spent on this job. And in the end, it shows you how much profit you've made up. We do integrate with QuickBooks online as well. So when you close the job, you can create an invoice in here, and it'll automatically copy over to QuickBooks along with the customer information. And also you can receive payments right there. The Documents tab will show you everything that you've sent out, and then you can, if you've done paper bill of lading, you can upload that or any other paper document in here too. The Photos section will show you all the pictures that were taken through the survey app, and then you can upload any additional pictures in here too. And then the final screen in the activity log, it pretty much shows you everything that you've done for this customer in this move. All your calls, text, email, surveys, everything is in this one screen. Also, throughout the move, you can automate as many emails and text messages as you want to the customer for confirmations or reminders about their moves. And those are all automated email and text campaigns that you can create in our system. We do offer a lot of reports in our program. Every department has its own section of reports. So we have recommended reports, and then we have all reports. All your data through these reports can be transported anytime as an Excel, PDF, or CSV. And it can also be used in other programs. For example, payroll, we have a payroll report that you can run through our CRM and use it in your payroll system. And then right here, you will see shortcuts to access different types of sections in the system, like payments, invoicing for storage, move invoices. This is a daily job chart. This is a great view for the dispatcher or the operations person. It's like a whiteboard that shows them for that particular day all the jobs that are happening and what the men and truck availability is. It also has other shortcuts here to let them block a date from the calendar, daily roster for workers and trucks to make them unavailable, worker reoccurring availability for the entire week. We also have a GPS tracking system that tracks the location of the tablet in the truck because it's linked to our bill of lading app. So you can actually see the actual location of your driver. And then there's also a map view that shows you all the areas that your trucks are covering for that particular day. And to end, I would just like to show you our dashboard that gives quick numbers to owners or management to see in general how the company is performing. So if you select all users here, you can see your opportunities by month and even forthcoming in the next following month, how many came versus how many closed. And then you have your KPIs here. And this can be sorted by this year, this month, or last month, last year, like that. So this is a great view for you to see some quick numbers in general. So that pretty much wraps up our demo today. I will be reaching out to each of you individually to answer any questions that you may have and discuss pricing depending on the user need of your company. Thank you so much for joining the webinar today. Really appreciate your time and interest in Movegistics. And I will be talking to you very soon. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Thank you.